Tonight, police and protesters clash on a Canadian campus. Calgary police in riot gear forcibly clear an encampment.
Did anyone, pay you or influence you to come here yourself?
And as rumors swirl that outsiders are fueling protests, we break down who's behind encampments at other Canadian universities. CBC learns Toronto is getting a WNBA team.
The little girl in me is just like bubbling with joy.
What we've learned about where they'll play and when. An epic show lights up global and Canadian skies.
There are big, magical, sort of mysterious things in the universe happening.
The rare solar storm striking the Earth this weekend.
From CBC News, this is The National with Ian Hennemensing.
In Alberta tonight, pro-Palestinian protesters returned to the University of Calgary campus after demonstrators were forcibly removed by police last night. Their encampment dismantled just hours after it appeared. While most protesters did heed a warning to leave, those who didn't faced officers clad in full riot gear using shields and flashbang explosives to drive them off the site. Within minutes, it was over after several protesters were arrested. And today, some of those protesters criticized police for their use of force, but others, including Alberta's Premier, supported the move. Erin Collins takes us through what happened and what the campus looks like the day after.
We shall not be moved.
This pro-Palestinian encampment up on campus for just hours, brought down in a flash and with a bang. Police moving in using force to remove students and their supporters.
It was entirely peaceful the entire time until the police showed up.
Protesters say officers left their mark.
A couple of us just got singled out, isolated, and punched and beaten on the ground for a while.
That police response leading to 5 arrests.
We will continue to assist the university as required to remove any further encampments and to remove anyone else who has been trespassed and refuses to leave that property.
The university administrators say students can protest, but not camp out, a stance supported by Alberta's Premier.
It's already out of control in Ontario and Quebec and elsewhere, and the universities can't allow it to get out of control.
Similar encampments remain on campuses across Canada, some universities now threatening to remove them, but the University of Calgary moved much quicker.
The moment students set something up on our campus to exercise their charter rights, the university calls police on them and they get tear gassed.
But it wasn't always this way at the U of C. Protests once embraced here.
This is on the University of Calgary's digital archive website of an encampment that actually happened on campus in 1999.
This has happened before?
It's happened before. Students have encamped on campus to have political conversations about what's going on.
Move! Students from last night's protests met with physical resistance, still undeterred.
There is no time to sit back and think about the consequences, to sit back and think about what we experienced, because the people of Palestine were never afforded that right.
Back on campus today, but at this rally, the focus is on praying, not staying.
And Erin, what are we hearing from protesters and students today?
Yeah, well, Ian, they're clearly not happy, right? Like, they think that the police went way too far, and they're disappointed that the university administration called the police in so quickly. So what now? The student union, they're calling for a leadership review of the university's president. That protester that we heard from in the story, the one that got hit in the face, he says he'll be pressing a complaint against the police. And protest organizers, well, Ian, you can see, they say they're not going anywhere.
Erin Collins on the University of Calgary campus this evening. And tonight, protesters at Montreal's McGill University remain defiant after the school filed a request for an injunction demanding that encampment be dismantled.
We will not be deterred. We will remain here until our demands are met.
The application for an injunction states neither McGill nor the Montreal Fire Service have been able to get access to the protest area for health and safety compliance checks. A hearing will be held on Monday. And beyond the campus protest, a major show of support for Palestinians today at the United Nations. That was the UN General Assembly after voting by a wide margin to support a Palestinian bid for full UN membership. The vote passed 143 to 9. Canada, one of 25 nations which abstained, saying it's focused on a two-state solution.
Canada is prepared to recognize the state of Palestine. At the time that is most conducive to lasting peace, there is still work to be done.
Today's UN vote doesn't mean Palestinians will get full membership. It must be approved by the Security Council. A membership request last month was vetoed by the U.S. The United States has released new findings critical of Israel's conduct in the Gaza war. The State Department report says it's, quote, reasonable to assess that Israel's use of U.S.-supplied weapons violated international humanitarian law. But it says it doesn't have enough concrete evidence to recommend suspending weapons shipments. Ukraine has sent reinforcements to the northeastern Kharkiv region after Russian air and ground attacks. Briar Stewart shows us the new Russian offensive aimed at extending Ukraine's resources already stretched thin.
As the sun was rising, Russia's latest drone attack on the Kharkiv region. At least 3 homes caught fire and dozens of others were damaged. Around the same time, Ukraine says Russia launched a ground offensive towards Vovchansk, a city less than 5 kilometers from the border. The military started to evacuate the few thousand people still living there. Tamaz Gambarashvili is in Vovchansk and spoke to CBC News despite a shaky cell phone signal and the ongoing explosions. He said while people were used to shelling, they were, quote, not ready to wake up to such a massive attack. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was meeting with the president of Slovakia, said the country's military was prepared. But he said it's important to understand that Russia can increase and bring more forces in this direction. Officials had been expecting Russia to launch an offensive in the region, which is home to Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. Russia failed to capture the city in the early days of its invasion, and since then Ukraine has built up its defenses, making it a much harder target. There can be no what-ifs. They will not break through, said this woman. No, I will not go anywhere, says this man. I will be in Kharkiv till the end. While Russia's military might not be able to seize large areas, the offensive could further stretch Ukraine's resources.
To thin the Ukrainian defenses in Donbas and to make resource management when it comes to the new supplies that are coming in from the US more difficult.
Ukraine says it has sent reinforcements to the Kharkiv region and it's preparing for a counter-offensive in the east, which it expects Russia to launch in the coming weeks. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
A troubling revelation from the BC government today about a series of cyber attacks. The province says a state or state-sponsored actor was behind the attacks on government systems. The CBC's Michelle Gassoub has been following these developments from Vancouver. And Michelle, the government called it a very sophisticated operation. What else did they say about how they came to this conclusion that a foreign state was involved?
Ian, the province is being very careful with the words it's using to describe this attempted breach, but their conclusion that a foreign state or state-sponsored actor is likely behind this is the fact there was some kind of attempt to hide the attack. Public Safety Minister Mike Farnworth addressed this today.
The only kind of level of being able to do what they were seeing and covering up the tracks is the hallmarks of a state actor or a state-sponsored actor.
We also learned more about the timeline of events today. There were 3 separate attempts to breach security. The first was detected a month ago on April 10th. A second attempted breach was detected on April 29th. And at that point, public servants across BC were told to change their passwords. Then a third attempt May 6th, just 4 days ago. And it was that attempt earlier this week that led investigators to believe the attacker was trying to cover their tracks.
So the province first announced the attack on Wednesday night, and aside from the details you're reporting tonight, still lots of unanswered questions.
Of course, the number one question, which state might be behind this? Farnworth himself said the province isn't withholding that information. He does not know at this time. A second big question here was personal data compromised by this attempted breach. Right now, the province says there is no evidence to suggest sensitive data was threatened. And finally, there is a question of motivation. We know this was not a ransomware attack. There have been no demands of money from the attacker. So if not money, why would a state actor want to access the BC government's data? That is unanswered at this time.
Michelle Gassoub in our Vancouver newsroom. New job numbers out today took economists by surprise. Canada gaining 90,000, mostly part-time jobs last month, but that's well above what economists were expecting. Nisha Patel shows us what's driving the job growth and how it could factor in a potential cut in interest rates next month.
Dan Hong is on a roll, selling sushi at markets across Ontario.
We could use 20, 30 people any given time.
From chefs to delivery drivers, he needs more staff.
We're hiring people and we're willing to train, but unfortunately, it's been very challenging to find people to work.
Thousands of Canadians found jobs in food services last month and at hospitals and nursing homes. Tech companies also took on more workers.
We are expecting to grow in the next 12 to 8 months between 50 to 100%. So there's going to be a ton of hiring there.
Canada added 90,000 jobs overall in April, the strongest month of job creation in more than a year. But because the country's population is also growing fast, the unemployment rate didn't budge from 6.1%.
This time around, we did see quite a significant increase in private sector hiring, which was good news from an economic point of view.
The report wasn't entirely rosy. Many of the jobs created were only part-time, and the construction and manufacturing sectors shed workers. Still, experts say while the economy is cooling, it hasn't gone cold.
We're getting inflationary pressures under control without necessarily causing the recession that, a lot of people were expecting a year or 2 years ago.
That could give the Bank of Canada a little breathing room to keep interest rates high for longer.
Certainly what we see is that households have substantially slowed their consumption, reduced their spending to manage higher interest rates.
The inflation numbers due out later this month are now even more important for the Bank of Canada as it decides its next move. For now, market watchers are betting there's a 50-50 chance of an interest rate cut in June. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
Canadian Blood Services has made a public apology to the 2S LGBTQ+ community. For years, its policies prevented gay and bisexual men from donating blood.
This is historic. This is important, but it is also not the end of the work.
The policy was fully repealed in 2022. Since then, all potential donors have been asked a series of questions about their sexual history. Canadian Blood Services acknowledged the ban contributed to homophobia and stigma around HIV. Huge news for Canadian women's basketball. CBC Sports broke the story that Toronto is getting its own WNBA expansion team. This comes at a time when women's sports are riding a wave of popularity. Ithel Musa shows us some of that excitement.
Women's professional basketball is coming to Toronto, and fans couldn't be happier.
I think women are amazing, and I'm so excited to go watch my first WNBA game.
Women can do anything that men can do, so bring it on! Yeah, for the women! Yes, I like it.
CBC Sports was the first to report that Toronto billionaire Larry Tannenbaum was granted the expansion franchise with the Women's National Basketball Association. Tannenbaum is a minority owner and chairman of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, which owns 2019 NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors.
We're seeing more and more recognition that not only should we have women's professional sports, but it's actually a good business to invest in. We see with the PWHL selling out everywhere it goes. People want to be there.
Last year, the WNBA reported its most watched regular season in 21 years and its highest average attendance since 2018.
The little girl in me is just like bubbling with joy.
Nakisa Kumal Singh founded the league Hoop Queens to encourage more women and girls to play the sport. She says having a professional women's basketball team in Canada is inspiring and a game changer.
Canada deserves a WNBA team because we have proven and shown time after time that there's a market here, one. Two, that there's talent.
Talent like Bridget Carlton and Kia Nurse, who play to sold-out crowds in Toronto and Edmonton.
The market is ready. The want for women's sports in Canada is ready. So I know that they're going to pack the house. I know that the support will be behind a WNBA team in Toronto.
The WNBA did not confirm the Toronto move, but an official announcement is expected to happen later this month, and Toronto's new team is set to hit the court in 2026. Idil Musa, CBC News, Toronto.
A lot of people will be scanning the skies tonight, hoping to see the northern lights. A solar storm will make the light show more vivid and more widespread than usual. This is the Swiss Alps, where people can often see the aurora, but nothing as vibrant as this. Tonight is special because even places like southern Canada will likely see them. Lindsay Duncombe has details on what's behind the rare opportunity.
From the rooftop of his Vancouver townhouse, Robert Lyons is getting ready to photograph weather from out of this world.
I'm hoping a massive swath of green over the city skyline, and hopefully it'll dance. You can see the actual photons moving in a pattern, and it's just spectacular when it happens.
Already, European sky watchers have captured the rare phenomenon, northern lights far further south than usual. Here's why it's happening. Large solar flares on the surface of the sun, eruptions of plasma, sending millions of tons of charged particles towards our atmosphere.
Multiple, as many as 5 over the last couple of days, that have all subsequently been directed at Earth. Having something where we have this number in rapid succession is pretty unique and exciting for us.
Like hurricanes, geomagnetic storms are rated on a scale of 1 to 5. This one is a 5. All that magnetic energy in the atmosphere could damage power grids.
Getting to work in Montreal this morning was an exercise in frustration. The lights were out everywhere.
That's what happened in 1989 when a space storm created a 9-hour blackout in Quebec. Worst case scenario, satellites could be vulnerable too.
When there's these big magnetic storms, there are a lot of high energy electrons and protons flying around in space. And they're going so fast, they can go through the skin of the spacecraft into the electronics inside.
So the head of Canada's Space Weather Group will be part of a team monitoring the storm, sharing data with industry. They'll be up all night.
Over the North Shore Mountains, northern lights are raging.
So will Robert Lyons.
So this is a reminder that there are big, magical, sort of mysterious things in the universe happening, and this puts us in touch with it.
A rooftop connection to the beauty and the danger of space. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Vancouver.
And we're watching some breaking news out of British Columbia tonight. The town of Fort Nelson is being evacuated because of a wildfire. The fire burning out of control west of the town, which is in the province's far north near the border with the Northwest Territories. All of the more than 3,000 residents of Fort Nelson and the nearby Fort Nelson First Nation are being asked to leave immediately. Longtime CBC host and personality Rex Murphy is being remembered tonight in Newfoundland and across Canada.
Rex could skewer someone in his commentary and make them smile while he did it.
Looking back at his unique use of language and the opinions that weren't always popular. Next. Plus a postnatal retreat for new mothers.
If a mother is is better rested and is properly nourished, she will thrive, and so will her baby.
Why the care will be out of reach for most women. And later, a very special wedding recreated. Why they chose a hospital to say "I do" again. We're back in 2. A deadly bus crash caught on camera in St. Petersburg, Russia. The bus breaking through a safety barrier and careening over a bridge. At least 7 people were killed. 15 were believed to be on the bus. No word yet on what caused this crash, but the driver has been detained by police. Across the country, Canadians are remembering a man of many and sometimes complicated words. Broadcaster and commentator Rex Murphy died yesterday at the age of 77. As Peter Cowan tells us, Murphy left a legacy in his home province and far beyond.
Separatism in 2014 is a ploy looking for a justification.
His news commentaries were must-watch television for many, first locally in Newfoundland and Labrador, and then on the National. His unique use of language made people take note. Deborah Collins was a colleague and a friend.
Rex could skewer someone in his commentary and make them smile while he did it.
He was a Rhodes Scholar. He ran for political office 3 times and lost, before deciding his strength was in critiquing the upper echelons of power rather than joining them, always with panache.
Style was more important than substance. If you're sloppy, slangy, vulgar, blasphemous, or scatological, or simply crude and ignorant, then your thoughts are the same.
But his verbose use of language also made him a target for parody.
For the National, I'm Rex Murphy.
Comedian Mark Critch impersonated Murphy on this hour's 22 Minutes. He says Murphy's work was the ultimate rebuttal to the negative stereotypes of Newfoundlanders.
As Newfoundlanders, having someone like Rex on the national scene, he totally disproved that notion. And he was the greatest wordsmith in a place known for talkers.
The greatest Canadian, he would have declined the question.
The man who once argued Pierre Trudeau was the greatest Canadian was not a fan of Justin Trudeau. In the last few years, Murphy generated controversy when he embraced the Freedom Convoy and argued against COVID vaccine mandates, climate change, and political correctness. Peter Mansbridge says Murphy felt comfortable when expressing opinions that went against the grain.
It was almost easy for Rex to take those positions. But he meant it, he felt it. He became much more right of center.
I now invite honorable members to rise.
A final tribute the day after his death. The politicians Murphy spent his career pillaring with his perspicacity paused to remember him. Rex Murphy was 77 years old. Peter Cowan, CBC News, St. John's.
Prince William gave an update on his wife's health during a visit to Cornwall. Hard to hear that, but he says the Princess of Wales is doing well since her cancer diagnosis. In a video message in March, Kate announced she was undergoing preventative chemotherapy. A new service is offering mothers round-the-clock care in those early days after the birth of a child.
I was stepping into somewhere where I know I would have the support that I really needed at that time.
Why most will be priced out of the service. And federal workers forced back into the office, but not everyone wants to return to work. Is the mandate a mistake? Our panel breaks it down. Plus, claims about who might really be funding campus protests, but are they true?
There's no evidence that I've seen, no credible evidence.
Ben Maku investigates the allegations of dark money. The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. London Drug says full pharmacy services are expected to be back up and running over the weekend at many of its locations. The Western chain closing all 79 of its stores for a week after a cyber attack late last month. The company says pharmacists are available at all stores to assist with urgent needs. Ahead of Mother's Day this weekend, a Toronto business is promising those early days with a newborn don't have to be so tough. Paula Duhatchik takes us inside a postnatal retreat.
Did you have fun?
2 days after Ashley Thomason gave birth, she checked into the Almacare postnatal retreat, where for 2 weeks she had 24/7 help from nurses, doulas, and lactation consultants.
I just broke down in tears because I just felt so relieved that I was stepping into somewhere where I know I would have the support that I really needed at that time.
Similar retreats are already popular in countries like China and South Korea, but Almacare in Toronto bills itself as the first in Canada.
So here we have the baby bassinet, fully stocked.
Co-founder Hannah McConville says the retreat is based on the Chinese tradition of sitting the month, a 30-day period of postpartum recovery.
If a mother is better rested and is properly nourished, she will thrive, and so will her baby.
At Almacare, rooms cost upwards of $850 a night. The company also offers home care packages starting at around $2,200. This family doctor understands why there's a market for the service.
Oftentimes people feel like they need a bit more support.
But she says moms who need help the most are likely priced out.
I think it's unfortunate that not everybody who needs it can have it. I think the convenience of this service is hard to reproduce in a public system.
The company's co-founder says she understands it's not affordable for everyone, and they're working on what free resources they can offer. As for mom Ashley Thomason, she says her stay was worth a splurge.
I wish it was available in some form to all women because it really made a huge difference in my own recovery.
If she has another baby, she plans to make another reservation. Paula Duhacek, CBC News, Calgary.
Now let's break down the news shaping our world. First came the protests, then the accusations.
There is a movement to radicalize young people.
But is it a conspiracy or a conspiracy theory? But first.
Those who can work from home, work from home.
Work from home whenever possible.
A pandemic-era revolution now rolled back. Federal workers furious at a new mandate.
The Trudeau Liberal government better prepare itself for a summer of discontent.
Can workers win this fight? And is back to the office better? Two guests to help us break this down. And Ian Lee, I'll start with you. You're a business professor at Carleton University in Ottawa. And the federal government facing some pretty stiff resistance to this return to office mandate. What's your take on that?
I'm sympathetic to the workers in the public service because there was a large strike that consumed our city a year and a bit ago. And then the government finally got the unions to settle on the basis of this compromise of supporting a hybrid model, which is increasingly common across the public and private, certainly the private sectors in the US and Canada, according to Gartner Technology Consulting. And they said, okay, hybrid model, you go back to work 2 days a week and we'll call it square. And then the government subsequently reneged on that commitment last week and saying, no, you've got to go to work for 3 days a week. So, I mean, there was I would just call it, bait and switch.
All right, we'll get back to that in a second. But Daniel Lublin, let me bring you into the conversation. You practice in Toronto with Whitten and Lublin employment lawyers. What's your view of this return to office mandate?
First of all, this was not part of the collective agreement. It's in something called a memorandum of understanding, which is really nothing more than an agreement to agree. So it's not binding. What it was a commitment to consult the union with respect to the return to work mandate. It wasn't legally required. The employer didn't have to do it. So it's not binding. Second is the employer has the right to operationally set up the workplace as it sees fit. The employer has the right to tell these workers when they need them at the workplace, when they can work from home. That's the employer's prerogative. If the government of Canada feels that it's best for its operations to have these individuals at the workplace 3 days a week instead of 2, it has the right to do that.
So that's the law. Let's talk about what maybe should happen, law aside. We did an edition of Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio on return to work a while ago, and a business owner called in about that, and he talked about the benefits of returning to the workplace. And so we decided to call him back today and ask him how he feels about that now. Here's that clip.
What we found was the magic of being in the same space with people you're working with and the ability to just pop in and run something by somebody. You can't quantify the benefit to the business of having that sort of dialogue during the day.
So Ian, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the return to work as something which is better for the workplace?
I can deal with this from so many angles. I can deal with the empirical angle. Gartner is forecasting that some 2/3 to 3/4 of all these are American workers, this is American data, very similar to Canada, of knowledge workers are already working in a hybrid style arrangement. So this is increasingly common. I think this issue has a lot of generational component to it. You see that older workers, Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan is absolutely critical of remote work, saying if I can't see you, basically you're not working. Your productivity is terrible. But the studies are mixed. You can find studies that say productivity goes up for remote workers and others that say they go down. So the research is mixed. Then you look at the reality, and at JP Morgan is saying, everybody, you get back to work. But then there's our own Toby Lutke at Shopify who closed down the entire building and said, you're all working at home. And that's a very well-managed company as well. So we can't say there's a consensus out there. And just one more quick point. I've been doing both. I've been teaching for 37 years. I went into my office diligently for the first 15 to 20 years of my career, 5 days a week to the university. I found there were just way too many interruptions. You've got to talk to your colleagues. They walk by your office, a student walks by. You can't just say, go away, I can't talk to you. You can't be antisocial. And I found about a third of my day was unproductive. So I stopped going in every day. And then I found my productivity went through the roof. So I don't think we can make sweeping generalizations that people that work at home are unproductive and people that work in the office are productive, because there's studies on both sides of this issue.
Yeah, well, let me do the opposite, Daniel, with you, the opposite of a sweeping generalization. In terms of your law firm, do you see, on balance, advantages of having people back at work as opposed to working at home?
Listen, Ian, there's no question there are pros and cons of each. There's advantages to having people at the workplace. There's advantages to having flexibility. There's no question you can find science and studies that support whatever you're looking to support. What the issue is here, from my perspective, is that you have union leaders who stood up the other day and basically threatened the government because they asked these individuals to work a third day from the office instead of a second day. We cannot lose sight of who calls the shots. In this relationship, these workers work for the government of Canada. The government of Canada is effectively the business owner. The business owner has the right to set the terms and conditions of the workplace, including how often someone's going to work from the workplace or not. So you can find studies or empirical evidence that suggests one thing or the other, but the point is it comes down to what the employer wants.
Ian, literally 30 seconds. What advice would you have for the federal government to manage this going forward?
Two very quick points. First off, Eastern Ontario, primarily Ottawa, the National Capital Region, returned 13 Liberal MPs in the last election. And the government is apparently having some problems in the polls. And after the last downsizing in 1995, they lost seats in Ottawa. So that's one consideration. The other is, that is not being discussed, is that the workers are not going back and working side by side. People across Canada think they're being sent back to the office to work in teams. They're not, because of the downsizing decision to reduce 50% of all the real estate square meters in Ottawa. Individual workers are being assigned to individual random cubicles across the city, and then they're Zooming their colleagues in their team who are in another random cubicle in another part of the city. So they are doing remote work at work, no different from remote work at home. So the argument that this is going to change the productivity is simply not supported by the practice of the Government of Canada.
Ian Lee, Daniel Lublin, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Coming up, the conspiracy theories about who might be funding all those campus protests against the war in Gaza.
There's some organizing going on. There's a well-concerted organizing effort.
We break down the misinformation next.
Conscience of a nation speaking through your kids.
Pro-Palestinian protests accused of being not organic but orchestrated.
Why is everybody's tent the same? There's some organizing going on.
But experts say the suspicion is predictable.
The concept of the outside agitator is one that we see over and over again in American student history.
So is there any evidence this time? Ben Maku looks into some of the protests to get to the bottom of what fuels them, inner outrage or outside influences.
You have the opportunity to leave and leave now.
So one of the narratives about the student protests that started in New York and then spread across North America is that outsiders are backing them. Take New York City Mayor Eric Adams' claim about tents, for example.
Why is everybody's tent the same? Was there a fire sale on those tents? There's some organizing going on. There's a well-concerted organizing effort. And what's the goal of that organizing?
To him, there was some outside force involved in supplying protesters. It helped drive this question: is somebody or something actually funding the protests? And how much do they even cost? So we fact-checked this for ourselves to see what's happening here in Canada. So far, we've seen at least 11 pro-Palestinian student protests on campuses across the country. Generally, they want their schools to disclose all investments and divest from companies the groups say support Israel's actions against Palestinians. Some also want the schools to cut ties with Israeli institutions. CBC reporters on the ground have said the protests are mostly student-led, but count alumni, faculty, and community members in their ranks.
Students from different schools are starting to support the encampment.
These students say they've got a lot of supplies and they have a lot of energy.
Solicited donations. I saw some parents coming by with, pots full of food.
Now, outside protesters have bolstered numbers at times. So I went down to the University of Toronto encampment on its second day to see for myself. From what I gleaned, the protesters were largely students. I talked to a professor who's been observing. He's a member of the Jewish Faculty Network. So you've actually seen students you've taught?
Oh yes, many, yeah.
There's also this idea that, this is somehow being funded by groups linked to Hamas and other types of dark money. Who's paying for this?
There's no evidence that I've seen, no credible evidence that there's any kind of organizing like the ones you mentioned that have been funding this. And you see, if you wait at the gate, you see people from the community coming and donating food.
So let's talk money and supplies, what these protesters are asking for, and what it appears they're actually getting. We looked into how student groups and encampments in Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, and Vancouver were fundraising. All have asked primarily for physical donations, initially food, clothing, batteries, kitchen supplies. 5 student groups we found asked for money via e-transfer or cash. 3 of those were for potential legal defense funds, while 1 accepted cash donations at a medic tent. We asked them about where those money donations are going. 2 responded. U of T Occupy for Palestine said e-transfers pay for food and extra supplies that haven't been donated. And INSAF, a student group at the University of Ottawa, said it was collecting money for supplies at the encampment, which were coming from all angles, mostly from community members who donate to help our cause. Critics are also alleging the student protesters are part of a conspiracy involving secret money and links to Hamas. It centers on the National Students for Justice in Palestine, one of the main pro-Palestinian campus groups in the US with chapters and allies in Canada. It's been accused of direct links to Hamas, but to be clear, neither US nor Canadian law enforcement has charged any of its members for supporting Hamas. Another allegation, the protests are financed by billionaire George Soros. The far right uses this stereotype of a wealthy Jewish patron secretly funding perceived left-wing causes, like the BLM protests of 2020.
Democrat Party has gone so far left that nobody knows what to do. It's become radical resistance. You ever see their signs? Resist. They'll go to a person holding a sign who gets paid by Soros or somebody.
The irony of these latest allegations is that Soros is a proud Jewish American and a Holocaust survivor. The argument is that Soros's Open Society Foundations has paid to start the encampments. But they're citing grants awarded in 2022, 2 years before the encampments were even conceived. The grants also come with a description from OSF, none of which specifies student protest funding. Open Society Foundations told us it has funded a broad spectrum of US groups that have advocated for the rights of Palestinians and Israelis, and says their funding is both publicly disclosed and fully compliant with US laws. McGill and U of T have both claimed people unaffiliated with their schools are causing problems at the protests. Some call that the outside agitator.
So the concept of the outside agitator is one that we see over and over again in American student history.
I spoke to Angus Johnston, historian of student activism and professor at City University of New York.
Nonviolence is the answer.
If you go back to the Civil Rights Movement, if you go back to the Vietnam War movement, the idea behind the accusation of an outside agitator is at its heart the idea that the community that is rising up, the community that is engaging in this organizing, wouldn't be doing it if not for being spurred on, manipulated, pressured from outside.
It seems like whenever there's a mass movement that's disagreed with, these things are quick to come out. I can assure you, I have very little money. And I'm putting my life on hold to be here.
Did anyone, pay you or influence you to come here yourself, or?
Of course not. I am even appalled that you ask. I'm sorry, because that's, I'm here as a moral obligation to the Palestinian people. I haven't been paid in any sort of way.
And remember the tent theory? MP Kevin Vong insinuated the ones at U of T were part of a broader conspiracy that cost $400 each.
And last night there was about 120 of us who stayed overnight here at this encampment.
And your tents, where are you getting them from?
My understanding is that they were purchased at Walmart. Costco, the cheapest option. I'm not sure. Some of them have been donated. Some of them were purchased by community members.
In fact, I had already Googled cheap tents, which took me to an Uber Eats link for this model from Walmart. Delivered to you for $48.
They're not expensive tents, and the idea that, we can see that they bought a bunch of the same kind of tent, and that is evidence of some sort of a conspiracy. Well, what you do is you go on Amazon and you find a good cheap tent, and then when you're going to check out, you click 6 instead of 1. You click for however many tents you have enough money to buy. It's not a conspiracy, it's just the logical way to do this.
I put the question of dark money directly to that student organizer.
I think ultimately, we've had just an outpouring of, supplies that are being donated and people are purchasing with their own funds.
Whether or not they're being funded, these types of protests, they're cheap.
We're talking about expenses on the level of hundreds of dollars, maybe a couple of thousand if you've got a really big movement that's lasting for a while. And talking about an amount of money that either can come from the students themselves or can readily be raised from just local supporters.
As I mentioned earlier, McGill University is seeking a court order to end the encampment there. By this weekend, it will have been up for a full 3 weeks. Let's take a look ahead now to Sunday's National. Sophie Gregoire-Trudeau speaks with Adrian about, among other things, the reaction she's received since her separation from the Prime Minister was made public.
I don't think people are that curious. I think people are caring, and I cannot tell you the amount of love and support that I've been getting.
I hope that's not a surprise to you.
A little bit.
Why?
I'm not sure why. I'm thinking. Because I love people, and I find solace in relationships. And I want to believe in the goodness of human beings. And I will never let my arms down and let the negative forces take over. So yeah, it makes me emotional because I think there's lots of not only positivity, but realism and constructivism at the same time.
Sophie Gregoire-Trudeau's life in politics and beyond, coming up on Sunday, Mother's Day, on The National. And coming up tonight, the couple that recreated their wedding at the hospital where it all began.
My first leg mate here that provides me with the ability to walk, and I've also met my wonderful, beautiful wife here.
Their inspiring love story is next in our moment. That is Elizabeth Dunphy and Will Gosard at the spot where they first met. The location is a prosthetics and orthotics lab at Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital in Toronto. The couple has a special connection to that hospital. Will went there when he was 3 years old to get a prosthetic for a leg amputation. Decades later, he began working there and met his soon-to-be bride. And today they returned to where it all began to recreate their nuptials. And so that is our moment.
For a kiss. Just that Holland Bloorview is very important to us. It's where we met. It's where our love story started. I was working in the orthotics and prosthetics department, which is where we are now. Will is an orthotics and prosthetics technician.
I'm a left leg above the knee amputee, so I've worn a prosthetic limb my entire life. So I was a client of Holland Bloorview from the age of 2 or 3 years old, getting my first leg made here that provides me with the ability to walk. I ended up doing a prosthetic internship here. So now I work here making prosthetic and orthotic devices for children. And I've also met my wonderful, beautiful wife here. We started around the same time.
Yeah, we were friends for about a year, I'd say, before we started seeing each other.
I remember putting my arm around Elizabeth one time in the elevator, and one of my coworkers said, "Oh, I guess so we're allowed to know now."
A lot of our coworkers were present for our wedding. It was a wonderful time to kind of celebrate our love.
Holland Bloorview is one of the things that, it's meant a lot to me.
The pictures are beautiful, the story is beautiful, and in behind the wedding photos is the laminating room where the work goes into creating it's actually a really complex process, but anyway, in creating the prosthetic limbs. That is the National for May the 10th. I hope you join me Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio and CBC News Network. Do boycotts, in particular boycotts of grocery chains, work? That's what we'll be talking about. And later that night, back here for the National. Have a great Saturday.